3 महामंत्र। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुण्डलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्षप्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री गणेश मंत्र। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री गणेश साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
जय श्री माता जी। दोनों हाथ माँ के सामने, हृदय में श्री माता जी के श्री चरण कमलों को देखते हुए, श्री माता जी हम सबको क्षमा कर दीजिए, हम सभी अज्ञानी हैं। श्री माता जी कृपा करके हमारे इस हृदय को और स्वच्छ कीजिए ताकि आप यहाँ आ सकें। माँ के श्री चरण कमलों को सेंटर हृदय में देखते रहेंगे। श्री माता जी कृपा करके हमें सभी प्रकार के भयों से मुक्त कीजिए। श्रद्धा रूपेण संस्थिता या देवी सर्वभूतेषु श्रद्धा रूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। धीरे धीरे अपने संपूर्ण चित्त को दोनों हाथों पे बारी बारी 10 अंगुलियों को देखेंगे। शिव माता जी, कृपा करके हमारे दोनों हाथों में आइए। धीरे धीरे अपने संपूर्ण चित्त को राइट मूलाधार, शिव माता जी, कृपा करके हमें बुद्धि और विवेक दीजिए ताकि हम स्वयं को सुधार सकें। राइट मूलाधार पे, शिव माता जी, आप निश्चित ही राक्षस हंत्री हैं। हमारे अंदर के समस्त राक्षसी प्रवृत्तियों को नष्ट कर दीजिए। संपूर्ण चित्त राइट मूलाधार, शिव माता जी, जो श्री गणेश जी का भक्ति समर्पण वही हमें भी प्रदान कीजिए। शिव माता जी, हमारे दाहिने मूलाधार में श्री महाकार्तिकेय शक्ति जागृत कर दीजिए। धीरे धीरे अपने संपूर्ण चित्त को राइट स्वादिष्ठान, राइट नाभि, राइट हृदय, राइट विशुद्धि, राइट आज्ञा, सहस्त्रार, शिव माता जी, आपकी अमृत वाणी को हम सहस्त्रार से सुन सके ऐसी कृपा कर दीजिए। श्री निर्विचारिता मंत्र, ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री निर्विचारिता साक्षात् श्री आदि शक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
Today we have gathered here in this beautiful place to work out something very deep. There are certain things of which we are not aware, which are in the history, and some things in the atmosphere. They affect us very much because we are the product of the 5 elements, out of which the Mother Earth is the left side within us. The Mother Earth changes its atmosphere, its hills and dales, rivers, fashions them in such a way that it gives a variety to her temperaments. Now, God has created only one world. He has not created many worlds. He has created only one world, this world, where alone here only human beings are created. So this is the most important planet, you can say, which has been in the attention of the divine. So the whole cosmos works out for the benefit of this planet. And the working of that cosmos has created this earth, and then human beings, and then the Sahaja-yogis. So Sahaja-yogis are the epitome of the creative powers. They are the epitome of God's desire. That's what He desired. That's why He created this cosmos, this universe, and this earth. So now His desire is fulfilled. When He sees being reflected through the Sahaja-yogis. But there is still a few things we have to clear out within ourselves. His desire represents the Mahakali power within us. Now, we have to see how His desire has worked in creating ourselves. First is the desire which is absolutely passionate. There's nothing desired, nothing else is desired but the creation of Sahaja-yogis. So the first desire of any Sahaja-yogi is to create more Sahaja-yogis. No other desire should be dominant or exist in a way. But to fulfill that desire, we have to fulfill some conditions. So one of the conditions, the most important, is the sincerity. As God doesn't need that qualification. He cannot be insincere, even if He wants to be. He does not have your type of intellect which can play devious roles with Him. But human beings have got this devious intellect which plays very much around. But as Sahaja-yogis, you can see that intellect very carefully and clearly. God is egoless because He does everything, so He is egoless. Or we can say He is the ego only, if that means doing something. But human beings have ego because they don't do anything and think they are doing something. I mean, you know this very well.
Yes, Mother.
So when you start assuming that you do something, you get identified with such myths very easily. Only human beings can be identified with myths, not God. But after realization, you can see your ego clearly. It acts in various ways. If we appoint somebody as a leader, the leader may start thinking that he's really the leader. And then it becomes really a problem for him because he starts losing everything that is leadership. But the worst is their wives start thinking they are the leaders. And sometimes the children also think that way. And I won't be surprised even if their dogs and pets feel that way. It can be any stupid thing. So with this kind of an ego, a Sahaja-yogi can see himself, how he behaves. I watch them and it provides a lot of humor for me. I watch them with their ego.
Them meaning the leaders.
No, all of them.
I was worried.
They push forward everywhere. They'll sit in the forward line, they'll push forward, they'll be there first to come in the front line, sort of things there. But if you are a sincere person, if If you have the sincerity, then you enjoy that sincerity in wherever you are standing, wherever you are sitting. So the ego can try to deceive you very much all the time. So you have to be careful about this ego, because it can sit on your head and can monitor you. And I have seen people going down very rapidly with this idea that they are something special. So sincerity, though it is the quality of the left side, can be dominated by the right side this way. The second thing about your desire, that it should be a pure desire. And the pure desire is very simple for you, because I am sitting before you. The pure desire of a seeker is to see God, to be in the company of God, to be in association with God. As they call it, Salokya, Samipya and Sanidhya. There are 3 words describing this. But without asking, without thinking of it, you have been given the 4th dimension called as the Tadatmya, means becoming one with my body, my being, so that you become protected, absolutely cleansed and nourished in my being. But when you are not aware of it, then what happens that I have to suffer in my body to cleanse you. So all other desires can create problems within you. Now, as I was telling you that this France is a creation of the Mother Earth with the special features, we have to examine what effects it can have on a French mind. It's a historical build-up also which affects this country. It's a very affluent country. You have got very rich soil and you produce beautiful agricultural products. So when you are satisfied on the material level, then you start moving left or right. Because you are very naive about one thing, that we have to rise higher, higher into our ascent. Also that we are not aware that that is the goal for our evolution. So we all have to ascend, that's all. Nothing else is important. So as soon as you find that materially you are all right, then if you do not have the idea that you have to ascend, you can really move onto the left and the right. France being a very, very affluent country, among most of the European and the English, they got into this movement much earlier than any other country. So if you can find the aggressiveness of the French based on these lines, because they go to the right side. Like the French never bothered to see or to find out what is the culture of other people. They are very self-opinionated and thought no end of themselves, and they thought they knew all what was culture is. As a result, they became completely ignorant of all other cultures which were much more evolved than theirs. The concept of beauty came up to a certain level of understanding, and then again it deviated into wrong direction. Also I would say the way the Christianity was preached in those days, no respect for women was there. So the women did not understand that they are the left side and they have to look after their chastity. In the beginning, whenever I read about French, like Émile Zola or other people, Maupassant and all that, what I found that women were not at all respected, nor they were respectable. If you read, say, for example, Nana is the one, he has written Émile Zola. If you read her, you will be surprised that they have given the 4 sides of a woman in one woman. He has described 4 sides. And one part, which is really a woman, is never respected in the society. When she is compassionate and good, that part she is not respected. On the contrary, she kicked out. So in the other parts, she behaves a cunning woman, or she behaves like a prostitute, or she behaves like an aggressive woman. Because the part that is respectable, and that is the one which was for her ascent and was her innate, was not at all understood or respected. So the instrument of the left side, which are the women of this country, were first harmed. And these became the main source of troubles in France. On the other side, they became extremely aggressive. The men became aggressive, and because women were not respected, they also became aggressive. The other women who could not do that became extreme left, started crying, weeping, and melancholy.
Les autres?
Melancholy character they developed, melancholy. Then they started, you see, writing about all this melancholy nonsense which doesn't exist, and indulging into it like wine or some sort of a thing. The movement on the left-hand side, naturally, because men also got attracted towards it, made them take to left-sided food as well. Now, for example, they developed the cheese, which was all full of fungus, which was a dead matter. When a fungus kills all that is right side, anything living can be killed with fungus. Not only as far as the food is concerned, but temperamentally, gradually, they started becoming like funguses. So, the fungus itself has a quality, is to that it thrives on the dead matter. So they went down to all places where they could find the dead matter, like Egypt. They were not very much interested in India, even to rule India. But they were very much interested in Egyptian dead things and other places wherever they could find this dead stuff available to them. Also, I would say Christianity, which started decaying very much, became a big hold in France. Religion also became like a fungus, like building, say, big churches and around them to bury the dead. Now I went to see Kshatri. Here you have a beautiful, very, very beautiful church and very good work done by the artist. But there are lying all dead bodies all around. It's horrible. Actually, dead people should be burnt. Only the realized soul can be buried. The sense of respect was lacking very much, even in the history you can see clearly. What was important throughout was the money. As I see the French Revolution took place, when I must say the Queen was not a bad woman at all. She was actually a great protégé, she was a protector of all the artists of France, and she's the one who gave such a great momentum to the art of France. If she created something like a furniture piece or any building, today even you show it with pride. Afterwards, she was not going to take it with her. It was for France she made everything. But the French wanted more money to be distributed. For what? For drinking more wine. Not to create anything of eternal interest. That's why I say those who drink have no right to strike or to ask for more money, because they have more money, that's why they drink. So I don't believe in capitalism, but I do believe that those who can create something new, who can create something not new in the sense of nonsense, but a thing of eternal values, must be given money to create that. Or there are many capitalists who do wrong things, like buying instruments of war and things like that. Now we have England, we have America, they are doing this and creating concrete jungle for the progeny. Great Britain and England, America is doing this, is to buy war weapons and otherwise creating concrete jungles. And in Russia, they say that they are giving equal distribution, but people drink like fish. So with this French Revolution also, the drinking became a part and parcel of the lives of the French, because they got easy money. So the more money was acquired for doing all kinds of unrighteous things, unholy things, and we can say inauspicious things. But there were poor people, perhaps they did not drink so much, who created great architecture here in this country. Despite that, great artists were born in this country who had no money. They died becoming mad or becoming paupers. Now you had Napoleon, another person who tried to conquer other places, is another ego trip that he did in the history. But still he was not a very ignoble person, as we find so many of them are out these days who are the rulers. The only thing I feel about him that he didn't have a great character to leave any great impress on people, how to enhance their life in their quality. So the people who could have really impressed your minds towards the ascent were all paupers, or became mad, or were wasted. Ultimately, I think the whole aggressiveness disappeared with understanding that it is no use aggressing. But the left movement still remained very prevalent. So for the rest of the world, French are very weird, queer, strange people. They developed their own insular methods of dealing with things. This is, I would say, is a curse, because that kind of a curse, when it works out, then you cannot improve, as you have nothing else to see and relate and to advance. Because the ego, when it is worked with the left problems, you can be very queer, strange and weird. I could see that the first day I came to Paris. And they told me very clearly that, "Mother, don't smile at all. And you have to keep very serious." And I cannot be serious for more than 2 minutes, I think, 2 minutes. So I said, "But why?" The reason they said was that they will think that you are an ignoramus, you don't know what's happening in this world. Serious things are happening and you are laughing. So they will think that you are not at all matured. But as soon as I started my lecture, I looked at those people who were so serious.
Aussitôt que j'ai commencé ma conférence, j'ai regardé à mon auditoire, ils avaient tous l'air tellement sérieux
And I couldn't control my laughter.
que j'ai pas réussi à contrôler mon rire. I hope it's changing.
And then I said, sorry, I'm addressing all the les miserables, which I've heard about. I'm so happy to see today that veil of gloom has passed over. As if lot of dirty mud had gathered over here and the lotuses were about to bloom out. Whatever may be the atmosphere, whatever may be the history, whatever may be that has been created by human beings, inside resides beautiful lotus petals, everything intact. With a little push, they all are out now in the atmosphere, spreading their fragrance in this dirty pool, what we call as France. And they are such strong people, very strong Sahaj Yogis in France, which really makes me very happy and proud. In the beginning, I used to come every third week to Paris and have a meeting. And when they asked, Mother, why are you so much visiting Paris? I said, that is the gate of the hell. You must have heard the story I have told you about the advertising department.
No?
Huh?
No,
Well,
Srimati.
I better tell them. You see, two men who had done a lot of good, as Sahaj Yogis maybe, when they died, they were asked to go to heaven. So they went to heaven, and there they found everybody was meditating. So I said, what is new about this? We were meditating in the
Alors, ils ont...
So they said, why not they asked the permission of God that can we see also hell if we have a chance, because then we can decide, you see, whether we want to be here or there. You see, that is what the ego is, you must have choice. So they went to hell, and when they entered the first big hall, they found all kind of music was going on, funny type of music, and like Halloween, you have all kinds of dirty things, and the women were dancing nude, and the men were singing nude, and they were doing all funny things there, which we call funny. So they said, this seems to be a better place for a change, because drinking was free, everything was free there, drugs,
sur la table.
all nice things. I mean.
Donc, toutes les bonnes choses de l'existence.
So they said it's a very nice place. So the people who were in charge said, what are you doing here? So they said, we've come to visit the hell. Where is the hell? So they said, you can see from this hole, and they took them to a hole from where they could see the picture of hell. And there they found people hanging on top of fire, or they were put in the boiling oil, and they were put in the dirty mud, all kinds of things, you see.
Hello?
And they were horrified. And some were whipped very badly, and I don't know, all kinds of punishments that are. So they got a fright, and they said, now, if that is hell, what is this in this hall? They said, this is the advertising department of hell. And the ideas were coming from French and English specialists and other specialists from other European countries also. And nowadays the Swiss must be doing all the banking there.
Et les Suisses tenaient les cordons de la bourse.
So that is the advertising department, about which, you see, one should be quite knowledgeable to know what is the advertising department of hell is. So the righteousness and the holiness can only be maintained if you are very careful about these advertising departments, especially in France and other countries. The left side works in this way that we want to destroy ourselves, because left side stands for desire as well as for destruction. It can destroy you all if there is no desire of God anymore. So when you start getting to the other side of your desires, you have a desire to destroy yourself. Yesterday only I read in the newspaper an English lady who left billions of pounds, killed herself by malnutrition. So this idea of destroying yourself is now justifying so many things that we do in this world which should not be done for our health, for our physical, mental and emotional and spiritual health. And this tendency is to be seen by Sahaj Yogis within themselves also. When the Sahaj Yogis start slipping out, and you tell them you are slipping out, now don't go that way. So they say, no, leave me alone. It's all right. I can manage myself, means I can destroy myself. And this anti-life behavior starts to such an extent that they denied all that was spiritual, all that was healthy. Also on the left-hand side, you had some horrible writers and authors who came on this earth to give you very, 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 very anti-life ideas. Like a person like Said, you see, who started Sadism and all that. This kind of people only could prosper in France. In India, such a person would have been thrown out. Some mad fellow might have written Kama Sutra, but I have never known that book, I have never read that book, I don't know anything about it. And I don't know, if you ask anyone, they'll say, what is that book? We don't know. But if you say Gita, if you say Ramayana, you'll find many, or most of them. Even the Christians in India won't read such a book. But these books were very much appreciated. You find, it's hard to find anyone in Europe who's educated and who has not read these books. It was like a Bible for them. I mean, all these things have made them immune to sin, the filth of sin. To add to problems, you had so many wars, but last war, France was occupied by these horrible Germans. So they were in complete fear. Again, another left-sided movement. All these things have added to the perpetuation of left-sided problems. Now, how to get rid of them is our problem. When I came here, Patrick told me how they found people possessed by all kinds of variety of bhoots. And I'm not surprised, because I was expecting it sometimes to happen. There are still many Sahajogis, especially yoginis, who are possessed. I know of one mad one who came to my house, broke all the houses, everything, and did a lot of things. French, you know. The man, oh yeah. So, to get out of it, first of all, we must know the dangers of it. If the women go on like this, don't obey their leaders and go on with it, saying that this is my right, don't meditate, and do all kinds of things, they'll become schizophrenic. The schizophrenia, according to me, according to Sahaja Yoga, is a disease in which you are permanently possessed by many of these dead spirits. And in India, they would be sent to lunatic asylums. But I'm told that they have now cancelled all lunatic asylums everywhere, and the lunatics are moving on the streets. It's a very serious situation. The government doesn't realize what they are doing. Once I traveled by a bus in Paris, and I saw one after another people, one lady, then one gentleman, then one another gentleman. They walked in, and they were talking to themselves loudly. They are all possessed people, and they'll possess you. They will possess you. They'll possess your children. They can possess your pets. Anyone. Such abnormal people should be kept away from the public. But Marie told me that, you see, we French are very sympathetic towards that. The bhoots also, I must tell you, the left-sided people, they try to do things to incur your sympathies. In the right-side people, as they are aggressive to attract your attention, the left-sided people are aggressive to themselves to attract your attention. So those people who think we can wear some scanty clothes in winter time, or we can torture our lives, stand on our heads, all such people are absolutely now passing the limits of advertising department. So the first thing Sahajogis have to remember, that you have come on this earth to enjoy.
La première des choses que les Sahajogis doivent se souvenir face à ce déferlement d'idées noires, c'est que vous êtes venus sur cette terre pour enjoy.
Enjoy.
In French.
No French.
Difficult, Shri Mataji.
Imagine they said there is no word in French for enjoyment that I heard today, but for fun. Fun.
Fun, they found one, Shri Mataji.
Found, thank God. So this is fun. You have to enjoy the fun of life. And you are not here to suffer anymore. You are not to suffer anymore. And to be serious, for what? And to be tense is out of absolutely, we can say, out of subject. It's useless to be
Yeah.
tense. How can you be tense in the atmosphere which is so relaxed? If these things are expressing themselves, then you should know you haven't come to your proper point in Sahaja Yoga. If you still worry and go on worrying, you'll go to the left and you'll get out of Sahaja Yoga. This is the second serious point. So the first point is that you'll become schizophrenic, mad, lunatics. One. That's the first thing. I'm not a businessman, so I'm telling you the worst first.
Yeah.
The second thing, as just now I've told you, will be that you'll go out of Sahaja Yoga. As a result of that, you might get any disease like cancer or any disease that comes from the left side. There are so many. So this is very important to see that you try to keep to the central path of ascent. Through curative methods, through meditative methods, through vibratory methods, you must try to keep in the center and don't go to the right. Because with this destructive power, if you go to the right side, you will become extremely inauspicious and you will start destroying people. Especially for the wives of leaders, I would like to tell them that they must become very humble, otherwise they will have this thing, a power by which they'll destroy themselves and others. This is like this, the power, say, which is of a fire or of the light. If it is not used for which it is made, supposing you put your hand in the fire, it will burn. So we must understand the power of women is compassion, is nourishment. And they should not try to become like men, because then they'll burn off people and burn off themselves. So as I told you before, that it's the women who can be very, very helpful in improving the left side. By dominating men, you make them left-sided, which is not their style. They should not be left-sided. But if they are truly men, they will walk in the central path. And if women are truly women, they'll walk in the central path. So to walk in the central path, one has to get rid of all these things of this type which are within us. The third thing that really I would say warn you people, that you get attached to your things, to your possessions, to your children, to your surroundings. Like many French would say, oh, I hate to go out of France. When they go to some other country, they always criticize. I don't know who are the best critics, but all of them criticize each other. They never try to see the good points of others. And in doing so, what you do is to perpetuate a kind of an inferiority on others, using your powers of left side, by which you make others look small. Like pitying someone for nothing at all. Like if supposing you start pitying me, what will it look like? It's upset as that.
Yes, Srimadaji, I don't even know how to translate that.
No, but that's what it is. So there should be no pity, there should be compassion. And that will take you out of this nonsensical ideas of pitying yourself, pitying others, and feeling all the time sorry for nothing at all. Because if you ask for such pity, then you will be pitied too. I mean, you will be in a pitiable condition yourself. But if you have compassion, then you don't put down that person, you don't sort of make him feel inferior, but you encourage him and he feels powerful. Like a finger is hurt within you, you just try to soothe it and be compassionate towards it. You don't try to put him down that you are no good, because it's part and parcel of your being. So the compassion stands in between condemnation and pity. In compassion, you have to condemn whatever is wrong. You have to condemn the bhoots. You have to condemn that's ugliness. You have to condemn all that is wrong. So by that, you see, you make that person see that you do not have appreciation of what he is at all. And it is just compassion and no pity about it. Because the left-sided people want to be pitied, and if you pity them, they get even worse. So to say poor person, poor man, or a poor old lady, something is wrong. So when the people who are possessed, they start condemning their bhoots, they come up. When they hate their bhoots, they can get rid of them in no time. But sometimes going worse than that, they get identified. Of course, to judge it best is to see through vibrations, but you can also see it logically, how we behave towards our possessions, towards others. Lot of work has been done in India on a very subtle level, I would say, how to get out of the left side. I would say Mahavira was the one who really has worked very hard to give the whole idea of the hell up to heaven, what is the left side is. Another, I would say, his own incarnation was William Blake, who has also given full idea about it. I would say Dante did the same. See, so this is what they have shown you, how the hell is and how the heavens are. Now for Sahajogis, it is important to see their left-sided problems, if they are lingering in them. Possession means you are possessed by something, some ideas which are not rational, which are illogical. And in the modern times I have seen how they avoid the topic. If you ask them, they say, I don't know. I don't know why I feel like that. Then give up that feeling. It's wrong. If you don't know, it's no good. In the beginning, you ask French, any French, how are you? They would say like this, and I would look at their hands, what does that mean? No, like this. So I used to wonder what's wrong with the hand. And they were very boastful about it. That's the best part of it. Because to say something as certain, cocksure, was regarded as ego for them perhaps, but Sahajogis have to be cocksure. Now English, if I asked them, how are you, they would say confused. So, I mean, I didn't know why. And boastingly, I'm confused, and something great, you know that I'm confused. So the explanation was given was that we are aware of our state. We are not saying something with a cocksure way. A Sahajogi, if he is confused, he is not a Sahajogi. At this stage, you have to be absolutely sure of yourself. Sure about me, sure about Sahajoga, and sure about all the Sahajogis of the world. Otherwise, you are not Sahajogis. That means your connection with God is like a loose, plug, like that. So, we have to understand that in the center when we are sure of what we are, absolutely sure. We raise our heads in pride and glory. We don't have the vanity of the right and the pity of the left. That's what is we are going to achieve in France now. No more going to the subconscious or to the collective subconscious. Now don't think of your forefathers, what they did, nor think of the future, what your progeny is going to do. Think for yourself what you are going to do for both of them. Many cursed families can be completely redeemed by one good Sahajogi, and thousands of years of progeny can be blessed by one Sahajogi.
Wow.
That's a fact. You can feel the vibrations now. So one should have that personality of a very tranquil, peaceful understanding. But this understanding should not be mental, but a sap on your central path. The vital energy that nourishes all the chakras, your being and the atmosphere. I'm sure all the French Sahajogis now will take to the new ways of the central path. They should wear dresses which are fresh, have fresh looks on their faces, should create a fresh atmosphere around. Give up all worn out things they're very fond of worn out things, and also worn out houses they like. They say it is antique. Worn out clothes.
Il faut qu'il
And worn
cesse.
out houses. No, give up that idea of antiques also, because you see, antiques are not all right as long as they are preserved properly. But if you make them look like antiques, you see, it's no respect given to them. I went to Poland and I was surprised that all their old monuments were resurrected after the war, and everything is painted and brought back to absolute fresh look. They haven't kept anything broken or muddy or in any way
Mais ils l'ont
worn
fait.
out.
Mais
So the idea of these antiques to be preserved as they are is also, I think, very Buddhist and left-sided. So your antiques, whatever you may possess, also must be cleaned out and properly done up and should be brought to a fresh look. Now this necklace I am wearing is very antique, very old, but doesn't look old, does it? Because it is looked after, and it would look funny to wear, for a goddess to wear an antique thing which looks so worn out. So one criteria could be that whatever we wear or do, will Mother like it? This is the one question you can ask if you don't want to ask the vibrations. Will she like it? We have to please her. And I tell you, very small things please me. You don't have to do too many things, just a few things which pleases me, which are very simple and easy and innate. Like you have to be innocent. It's very easy. If you are a childlike person, you just don't allow any cunning to come into your head, any absurd ideas. Just be innocent. You don't have to do anything to be innocent. You have to do something to be non-innocent. So this is what one has to understand, that the basis of our left side is innocence. So anything that is not innocent, we should not do. It's so simple. It should be all right with all of us. If we just believe that we have this quality of innocence within us, absolutely intact. And we have to just awaken it and enjoy it, that's all. So may God bless you all. May God give you strength to be innocent.
que Dieu vous bénisse tous et qu'il vous donne la force d'être innocent.
You must pray that
devez-
you should be innocent.
Que
And the
vous soyez
innocence,
innocent.
innocence will suck in all your problems, suck in all your problems of the left side. And the symbol of innocence is Sri Ganesh, who just knows his mother, nobody else. And his innocence is the source of all the wisdom. So you have to pray for becoming absolutely innocent people. May God bless you.
Que Dieu vous bénisse.